What up? What up? What up? It's Poke the Blueprint, the host of the number one networking show. And I like to take the first couple of seconds of each show to highlight any local brands that I may be wearing. And tonight I am wearing XI11, which is a 16-year-old entrepreneur. So I encourage everybody to support your local brands. And so we have Brooklyn in the
Without a
house.
doubt. What's up, Brooklyn Jules? That's me.
How you feeling tonight? I appreciate
I'm
you coming
feeling
on the show.
blessed. I'm feeling good.
Mm,
Good. I got a drink
well,
too. I got water.
okay, all right. I
I got to
got
drink
some.
a gallon a day so I can get my weight down.
Look, I love you. I love your energy already, right? And so before we get into the journey, before we get into Brooklyn Jewels and everything that you're involved in, just let everybody know who you are and where you're from, and just kind of a brief overview of what you're involved in. And we're getting ready to take it back to day one.
All right. So, I'm Brooklyn Jules, originally from Brooklyn, New York. Yes. I'm from East Flatbush, the 90s. Grew up and raised. When I was 18, I left and I joined the military. So I am a Navy veteran because I did 12 years and then I got out because I had an a-hole LPO. I have sailed all over the world. I was a West Coast sailor, so Cali is where my love at, but I wouldn't want to live there because it's bad for your hair. And my last duty station was VA, Virginia. Stayed there for 13 years, had a lot of hardship, but that's where my business got started. That's where the grind came in play. Um, Now, I currently live in a little town called Winterville, North Carolina. I am country girl now. I'm trying to be. Took the city girl, brought her to the country. Ain't shit to do here at all. Nothing. Um, so I've been living here about 5 years, and I have four boys, a set of twins, and that is my crew to help me do my business. My oldest, they're twins, which are 17. My really oldest son, he lives in Brooklyn, and he's like 24. But the last three, they helped me run Brooklyn Jewels LLC since they was 5 years old. We was on the street grinding in Norfolk, Virginia, baby. Real talk, because I used to sell women's jewelry for 5 years, and I hit the ground by going to hair salons. I was at barbershops. I was on that what was that? What's that show called with Baby Boy? What's the show?
Oh man, I'm
Um,
drawing a bit down. You got me.
I think it
When it
was
comes
called
to
Baby
me,
Boy, wasn't it? Wait, with Tyrese.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
I think it was called that. But you remember how
yeah,
Tyrese was selling dresses out the minivan and he would go to the salon where the women was. But first he approached the manager and get the respect and be like, yo, you want to pick something first? Yo, I was doing that. I would go in the
mm,
hair salons. I was selling women's earrings and jewelry. I go to New York and get it and flip the money and, you know, hit the streets of Norfolk. And I had to teach the kids. They didn't really talk. They was young, 5 years old, but they carried the little cases. So me and the
yeah.
kids carrying the cases in the hair salon, and that's how we did it. I did it. I was even at the club on Little Creek at Lido Inn. I would pay the security $20 not to search my pocketbook because all the earrings was in there. And I would go in the bathroom in the club. And when I was in the bathroom, the ladies come in there, freshen up. I'd be like, oh, girl, your outfit is killing it, but the earrings, yo, I got some bangers. And I pull it out, and I was like, 2 for $5. They was like, oh, you doing your house? Yeah, 2 for $5. Like, what's up? Yo, that's where it started.
Mm.
Yes, that's where it started.
So
Mm-hmm.
take us back, right? Take us back, in those beginning days, right? Because you're from New York, you moved to Virginia, you're in Virginia now. So I'm sure that's kind of a different climate when it comes to like how fast paced New York was. But when did you get the idea that you wanted to do jewelry? Like why jewelry? And
I love jewelry from high school. I I was out of my elm for the girls that was my age. My level of fashion was always on a different like route. While everybody was wearing Jabot jeans, Guess jeans, and the Reeboks 5411s. I was on some like dress shoes, my slacks, my cardigan. They like, bitch, you dress like you. Oh no, I'm on a different vibe from y'all. I'm not like, I don't know. It was, and then I worked and went to school. So I worked in Manhattan around lawyers and shit. Like I seen different things because I felt I want to be like that. You have to dress the part. You have to act accordingly. I was already used to the street style. I have family, uncles and them who's about the street life. Like I seen that. I know about that. That's not what I wanted. So that was my heart. My heart is fashion. So it dealt with jewelry and smell goods. I love smell goods and then clothes. But those was my top two. And it was good. It was real good. It ran its course though. It did run its course because Virginia's slower. So whenever I went to New York, I'm getting fashion that's way ahead of Virginia. They was behind. So when I'm getting these earrings, these Rihanna earrings that connect and basketball wives, they wasn't on that. They still wearing their little dainty earrings. So it was kind of hard to flow it away. I had to start getting stuff that I can flip because I was stuck with product. And a lot of times we do that. We're on a level where we're thinking high fashion, but you have to cater to the market that you're at. And where I was at, they wasn't on that level. So I had, I did have to make a change and adjust. And it was hard because I was like, nah, y'all got to get on this. This is hot. And they like, calm down. We don't want it. It was, it is.
So talk about that business sense and separating the emotion, right? Because the
I
emotion.
still don't have that concept. I'm still working on it. My emotions get attached to my products and the way I'm selling. I'm telling you, and a lot of times I've spoken to people that's making bank. They're making bank, and they're like, Brooklyn, you gotta take your feelings out of it. And I understand what they mean. I can only do it to an extent, only because a lot of my customers buy from me from my energy. Because sometimes you got some sale people that just cater, oh, this will look hot on you. I'm like, nah, it won't. It's too tight. Like, it's like a choker. You don't want a choker, And a lot of the times, them people that's making my day, like, you can't say that. You have to let the customer decide what they want. And, I listen, and I do have to adjust my wording. Yeah. I have to be more tactful, but that came over time because I was younger and I had that New York mentality. Like, man, you don't want it. Like, just come on, keep it moving. Like, really. So, but that's a learning experience. If you're at that age where you're not able to take in feedback to learn and grow, God will place you in a situation for the longest. Like, He gonna make you eat that crow for you to shut the hell up if you want to make some money. I'm still learning.
But it's good that you're self-aware of where you are, right? Because that's the most important thing, is that you're self-aware of where you are and where you need to go.
Correct. Because you won't go where you want to go unless you're open to learn. I read a lot more books. I watch hella YouTube. I hardly watch TV. I do a lot of self-motivation videos because in this time right now, people are purchasing on priorities that's in their life. Jewelry is not one. That's not an item for them. So for me to stay still focused, I listen to the motivational. I listen to Eric Williams. I do Joel Osteen. I do motivation stuff to keep my spirits up because I've been in business 13 years. I've experienced a lot of bumps in the road, but I kept my focus because if you have a passion in something, you gotta tell, look where you used to be. I used to be in the club, in the bathroom, at the flea market. People be calling me to do shows and events. I'd be like, nah, COVID heavy, and your event is indoors. Because of my market value has switched. I don't do women anymore. I do men. So I'm more with the men products now.
Now,
I cater to my men out there, all nationalities and race. I don't discriminate. I love all you guys. I'm here to cater to you. You tell me what you need. I make it work.
Now, was the switch intentional, or was that something that just happened because you saw like a shift in the market?
That switch, because even though female jewelry is my passion, a lot of women were getting on my nerves. Like, they was really fucking my nerves, because that haggling, honestly, that haggling is very annoying. It is, like, literally it is. And I've never been that way. If I seen something I wanted, I buy it. But everybody's not like that. They'll try you. Yeah. They'll see what they can get out of it. And during that era, I was doing Basketball Wives. So during that era, I was selling the women's jewelry. Well, what happened was I got introduced to someone in the motorcycle world, a DJ. And I guess he saw me on Instagram one time, and I seen that he was like a Friday night meet and greet, and I inboxed him. And I was like, oh, do y'all have vendors, there? Because I reach out to people to sell myself. I don't, hold, like, I don't put the pressure on other people to sell me. I'm going to sell me at the end of the day. Because you might not tell people right about me. I'm going to tell them about me. So he let me come out, and I went to the spot. But that crowd was not feeling that Basketball Wives jewelry type thing. The females, they was not on it. And the guys, of course, wasn't on it. So then I started looking at everybody and what they was wearing and paying attention to details. I was like, oh, okay, okay. And then when somebody came by my table, they was like, yo, you been here all night. I see you jamming. I like your vibe. I'm going to buy something just because. And I seen he had on like a whole set, male, like chain bracelet match, had the ring. Yeah. And I said, can I see your pieces? And he showed me, and I said, do you mind if I take pictures? Because it's nice. He said, oh, yeah, take pictures. Because if you get stuff like this, you will make it coming to these parties. And I said, what material? He said, stainless steel. Long story short, when I did my research, that shit cost money. Money I wasn't making selling women's jewelry. So I had to hustle. Like, I really had to hustle. I was working overtime at the hospital, getting money, going to New York, trying to find vendors. And I was like, Dad, how much? Oh, man, okay. So, it was work. But, everything happened for a reason. Because when I did that, everything started falling in place. Like some of the vendors was like, well, normally you got to buy so-and-so. But I see you come to New York like every month. That's how often I was going to New York from Virginia. I was driving up there. I was trying to get it. I was telling my sister, yo, I'm coming there for like 2 days because I need to go to the wholesale district. I got it, and he was like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you this on credit. He said on credit. And he said, you make money, then we'll do business. I said, that's what's up. Call that DJ. I was like, when the next party? Like, where y'all gonna be at? I got some fire, some new stuff. And it happened. It felt like sometimes when you have a vision or a plan in business and it's becoming difficult to get your answers and do, you have to sit back and think, are you really supposed to do this? Because God wants all of us to be happy. He don't want nobody struggling. We be trying to make things happen that we ain't supposed to, and then it's harder to accomplish. So when everything started falling in place, I said, oh, that's where it's at. That's what I'm supposed to do. And I still had my love for female jewelry. I just didn't keep a lot of it. I kept a little something on the side. But now my whole inventory is men. And the women be like, you never had nothing for us. And I say, I know other vendors who sell women's stuff. I'll be more than happy to give you their website. I spread the love all day.
Yeah.
I be like, this their website. Tell them I sent you. Like, I don't sell it, but they might sell it.
So you're really committed to that lane that you're in right now. That you won't even
put
really...
it this way. I was working at the hospital in Virginia, and I think they have one in the Baltimore. It's called a children's hospital. So I was working at children's hospital, like a 9 to 5, and the money they was paying. But also, I have a son that have a disability, so my family come first. So I used to call out a lot, and so the supervisor was like, "I'm giving you a heads up. You've been missing this many days. You think you maybe want to resign and take care of your situation?" So I was hitting hard times, like, boom, I'm not working and everything like that. But fast forward, when I started selling the men's jewelry and everything, it became to the point that I was working these little 9 to 5s, but my side hustle was making more than my 9 to 5. It was time to step out on faith and leave.
Wow.
I left Virginia when I had a burglary. I had a burglary in 2014. It was some dude I knew, some grimy nigga, I don't want to think about the past. I go to therapy for that, to help get relief. But that made me move to Greenville. When I moved to Greenville, Lord, North Carolina, everything went up. I have blessings after blessings. I bought my house last year. I mean, it was like, I guess God was like, I done took you through a lot of stuff in Virginia and you still ain't moved. Because I wanted to move back up to New York or move closer to, like, I wanted to be in Baltimore or Maryland. And it just wasn't working. Like, I guess he was like, get on the road and go this way. And I went on the road and I went that way. Ain't know where I was. My navigation wasn't working. It was Christmas Day.
What?
Yes. Every time I tell the story, people be like, what? I was like, yep. I stepped out on faith with kids. Hello. With kids. With no job. Only job I had was selling men's jewelry. That was it. That was it. Real talk. Wow. That burglary was the icing on the cake. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. So thank you to that sorry ass piece of dude that broke in the crib, because it's you. I am where I am today, baby. Thank God for therapy.
I love it. I love it. I love it. That's real talk. I mean, that's really stepping out on faith, right? I mean,
it is. And every time I tell the story, they be like, do you know anybody? No, I ain't know. And I still only know 3 people because now it's hard for me to trust motherfuckers. So it's like only knew 3 people now. But when I moved, I didn't. One of my homeboys moved. He was like, he said, you moving with no job? I said, yep. He said, how you gonna pay me to do this move? I said, yo, real target, you gonna get your money when it's time. I promise you.
Yeah.
That income tax hit too in January. I said, got your money? He said, you for real? I said, yep, when you ready to move. He said, we can go this weekend. I said, I'm already gone. I don't want none of this. Yeah. I don't want none of this. I donated my couches to a church. A lady, house burned down. She ain't had no furniture. I gave her my sofa, love seat, kitchen items. I ain't want none of that. Me and the kids just got clothes on our back. I was like, bye, BA. Peace. It ain't for lovers, not this lover. Nope.
Wow. That's a story for the ages, right? So now you get there, right? What is it like setting up shop, developing your business now that you're in a new place? You don't know anybody. How did you start?
Okay, so I'm in the motorcycle community. There are the motorcycle community is a whole world by itself. You know how they say like the LGBT, a whole community by itself? The motorcycle community is a world by itself. They have parties, they have anniversaries, they have food drives, all type of stuff, right?
Wow.
Okay. By me saying that, when I lived in Virginia, when they set up parties, they have a whole bunch of vendors at their parties, so you could buy a lot, like different items. So me living in Virginia, all my shows was in North Carolina. I wasn't really getting no love in VA to set up It was always in North Carolina. So because my job is mobile and social media based, I can move anywhere and still be in business without a doubt. All I got to do is keep talking to people, keep staying valid. That's why I do a lot of posting. When you're in a small, when you're a small business and the economy is going the way it is, and now the internet is being saturated, for you to stay vital, you have to be on social media. You have to. And now they do all of this algorithm and key points. You know, people used to say, oh, you post all the time. And now they say you hardly don't post. I do post, but what happens is posts that they see, I post late at night. Late at night. So while y'all sleeping, I'm posting in it's all type of groups for all type of market. And that's when I'm posting, because by the time you see that post, it's going to be the next day in the afternoon. And I don't have to do so much work during the day. Now I'm doing my, my researching and my marketing and stuff like that. So when I moved to North Carolina, all I had to do is hook up internet, find out where the party's at, go to the groups and see who they got posting flyers, look for contact names, look for contact emails. Where's this located? Okay, do I want to travel this far out? No. And I have a list. I have a list that I write down to ask the significant questions, because my profit value has to outweigh my cost, or I'm not traveling. When you travel, it's more cost, because you got to do hotel, you got your gas, you got your mileage, and you got your food. And if I have kids like I had young kids, I had to take them with me. So they events on the weekend, I gotta take them, and they eat more. I'm packing lunches and like road trip, nope, can't buy nothing, got snacks in the car, let's go. So I did it. I had to make adjustments now because I had to get a website, and it was just too much of me one-on-one contact, because that's what they're used to. My customers used to contact. Brooklyn, you ain't answering. Now I just send them straight to my website, and they're like, but what is it called? You know what it's called. Don't play with me. So they spoil, but I can go anywhere. My base, I can go anywhere. I just got to get used to the website, because a lot of people have this conception that you got to have a website, which is a fucking lie. No, you don't. Like, 13 years I had PayPal. I was sending invoices, and I like invoices because I'm detailing exactly what you're getting. A lot of people have, especially a lot of men, they have a lot of questions about the stuff they're buying. And if I want that sale, I got to answer that question. I literally got to talk to them. You don't have that right now. That's what makes me a little different from everyone else. And I'm going to toot my own horn. It's because when you're shopping online, it takes a long time to get that customer feedback. Like, they have a question, and then 2 or 3 days come back, and then they answer a message. I don't want what you got now. I done found 2 or 3 other people that respond faster. And I'm not saying it's them, but it could be the social media, that algorithm that infatuated. And then if you only checking your website for messages and you don't have it linked to your phone, then you're not getting your messages. You're not. You're really not.
Yeah.
So I would tell a lot of small businesses, and especially your first 5 years, baby, that's just you crawling. You making money that first year, you better keep that same enthusiasm, because it ain't gonna get easy. It's gonna get worse. If you had these high expectations in your first year, that means you gotta go hard in your second year. So you might want to pace yourself. Just pace yourself for that grind. Don't burn yourself out, because you will burn yourself out. Them customers will burn you out quick, baby.
And also too, you have to know when is a great time to expand, because depending on what type of business you in, you may want to get more inventory. Like, one of the businesses that I do, I buy and resell electronics, and recently this year I stepped out to a whole nother level, made a mistake, and I lost a lot of money. You know what I mean? But it wasn't time for me to step up to that level and it came back. So it was a learning lesson for me that you have to know when is it time and when you need to just master where you are and just keep flipping it at that level.
Well, let me ask you, when you stepped up and did that, was it something telling you to do that? Or you was like, oh, I'm getting it. Let me go ahead and let me try this.
It was that. It was that. And that's why I got that. And that's why it didn't work out because it wasn't the flow. And I think back and I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? So I'm just getting back to the point now, trying to recoup and remove it.
But it had
Um,
to happen. It
it
had
had
to
to
happen.
happen.
Because if
Yeah,
it didn't, it would have happened later. It's gonna happen. And it's great it happened now because
yeah,
now you know and now you more mindful. All right.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you, I broke my credit cards and my bank account to have inventory because people want right here, right now. They don't want
yeah,
that drop shipping shit. They don't want that third party shit. They want when you got my money, I
yeah,
want my shit. And since
yeah,
I can't be in front of you and get my shit, now you got to prove to me from being online that you could deliver the same quality. So I broke my credit cards and everything to get inventory because
yeah,
I know how I shop. So
yeah.
when the pandemic happened, for everybody who used drop shipping, for everybody who used the Chinese products, they was shitting up shit creek. I was not.
Ooh.
I was not worried. I was significantly blessed because my inventory is crazy. So when they
Mm.
couldn't get products, my whole go-to model online, you want right now, I got you. Mail out next day. Like it was that simple. Mail out next day. They was like, what? How soon? Your tracking was already sent to you. I'm going to the post. I would go to the post office twice a day. I do a morning shift and I do an afternoon. Like till this day, for the past 6 years, I've been doing that. That's why I
Mm.
said, God, good, man. I don't ever let somebody tell me some bullshit about he ain't real and all of this, and they want to be Debbie Downers. Okay, you need to go that way with that negative energy. I ain't got time. I don't understand what you mean. Go ahead. When people talk about how 2020 has been unfortunate and very bad and kicking it, I ain't say nothing because
Yeah,
sometimes you gotta let people vent and do what they
yeah,
do. But go over there and do that because 2020 been real for me. I am
yeah.
good over here. But when they say that, I just listen. I don't be like, Rich, what you talking? Go ahead and bend over there, baby. I'm sorry for you, but move that way with that negative stuff.
That's real. You know what? That's real talk because everybody is impacted different. You've established yourself to where you were on the ground before the online really popped. So you good in either water or dry land. You know what I mean?
Blessing. Yeah, that is. That is.
Mm. So if the market shifted today, you could revert back to just going out doing parties and things like
Yeah.
that. So talk about that.
And the,
If you
and
had
the
to make
market
that
is going
shift,
to
you
shift.
could.
The market's going to shift because the internet has become saturated. Everybody's selling everything. And a lot of fugazi is going on. And a lot of people getting their credit card taken. People not getting their items. I'm in the black business group. There's so many people in there who gotten con out of money. Like I was like,
Wow.
I'm just reading comments. I'm like, damn. Well, and then that's when I had that vision. I was like, yeah, we're gonna revert back to that one-on-one because so many people is being saturated with these websites and misguiding and taking people's shit. They're gonna be like, nah, I ain't ordering nothing online.
Yeah. Yeah. Now that's real talk. And now people skills are gonna come back into
A big
play.
play. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why I gotta again, and that's why I have to adjust because sometimes you know how you come across people who's been in business a long time. They get in a little kind of like I'm not gonna say nasty, rude way, but that nonchalant kind of
Yeah.
way. And I found myself doing that. And I recognize it. And when I recognize demeanor being that way, I won't do a show. I have to that means I'm burnt out. When I'm starting to be snappy and be rude to the customer, like they say a comment, oh, you must be don't want no money. Then I gotta, why they say that? Then I gotta read what I wrote, and I was like, you know what? I gotta take a step back, because what's happening, I'm being burnt out. Because you're dealing with customers, customer service. But if they asking a legitimate question, so why are you snapping? This ain't a customer for 10 years ago. This is somebody new. So Brooklyn, you need to fall back. You need to fall back, maybe go get a pedicure or some shit, go get your hair done or something, and then come back to it. And again, that's that self-reflect. You gotta do that. You gotta do that. Because I need to get back on the grind from like day one, when I was hitting the clubs and hitting the bathroom and be like, yo, what's up? I got this Illmatic right here. What's good? Sometimes you gotta do that. So I got to get back in the midst of it, because I've been out of it for a actually this year I did one event. I did one event, and I went to Daytona for the first time for Bike Fest. And I felt my demeanor being iffy because it rained. But I was like, in the back of my mind, I was like, yo, get this money in the rain. Like, I was pissed. I was pissed that whole weekend. But as soon as I talked myself into doing that, then I started making money. People was coming to the table. They was looking, because I didn't want to be in the negative, because them hotels was costly out there in Daytona. So, I had to look at that. And at the end of the day, it was very prosperous to go, because I got information, not money. But I hooked up with the manager where I was, and we talked, and he was like, this is what I'm doing. I feel bad. So we got big Bike Fest coming up in March. I want you to come. I ain't gonna charge you nothing. So it worked. I look at that as a blessing. Sometimes it ain't all about the money. But all you small businesses who's money hungry, you better take some of this knowledge as a key. Because at the end of the day, if you got the knowledge, the money gonna come. Stop chasing that money. If you got the knowledge, the money gonna come. So, again, it's self-reflect. Sometimes you gotta self-reflect.
Yeah.
That's that therapy, baby. That's that therapy. That's that therapy.
And that's that also that motivation that you do, because you do a lot of self-improvement and self-investment.
Right. Because Eric Williams, he give you that straight gangster. He don't sugarcoat, he talk loud, he yell at you. I be hearing it when I'm doing my walk. I do walks in the morning. I do walks early in the morning. It helps. It helps clear. Because if you sit and just think about product and business, you'll go crazy. You'll go literally crazy. So when I walk, I listen to him. And he, you know what I'm saying? It ain't always going to be peachy and cream. But how do you act when you ain't making money? How's your attitude? How's your demeanor? Do you act shitty towards people? Or you still happy-go-lucky? People be asking me, what you drinking? What you on? Life. That's what I'm on. Life. Sometimes I be on live on Facebook and little Spanish be like, mommy, you crazy, yo, you crazy. What you drinking? They're not that aqua, Nestle, Pure Life.
You know what? I love your energy, right? And so I'm sure when you're interacting with your customers and your vendors, they love that energy that you bring.
You're right. I make more money when I do that. If I'm in that Debbie Down and I'm sitting behind the table, I won't make a dime. I literally. And then with guys, I'm going to tell you about guys. Guys like an attractive female.
Yeah.
From Brooklyn. And they got a sassy ass attitude. Woo! I got all three, yo. I be like, go ahead. And I'm thick. Too. What? And they be like, she handling her business. She making money. What? Not married? What? Yeah, pretty much. I'm tooting my own horn. Look, Brooklyn Jewels. Follow the social media. Stop laughing at me.
No, but you know what? That's contagious, though. You know what I mean? Because people like to do business with people they like. You know what I mean? And so when I spend my money, I want to be appreciated. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's your money, right? You don't
Yeah.
want to feel like, oh, she just used me. Because listen, you might buy something from me a month ago and I see you out. I'm like, yo, you ain't speaking today. They be like, man, you crazy, yo, you crazy. Let me see what you got over here.
Yeah, yeah, but that goes a long way, and that's repeat business. You know what I mean? And so that's very important. That's very important. And I'm sure you do tons of repeat business because you couldn't last that long without repeat business.
And referrals, because those
Yeah,
people who they like, yo, you got to hit my girl up. You got to contact her. She'll get you right. You know what I'm saying?
now
There's some
talk
people
about
I've done a lot of business with that I wasn't a repeated customer. And then there's some people I want certain t-shirts done. Yo, I know I'm gonna call Shorty because why? She get my shit within 24 hours. Like she is what's popping. I
yeah.
refer her to everybody and their mama because she do good. When somebody do good and you don't want to feel like, oh, so I was hot for the moment for my dollar. Now you don't give a hell about me. Really? Okay. Bet
Yeah,
you won't get
yeah.
another dollar.
Yeah, that's real talk though. That's real talk. You know what I mean? And so what are some of the things that you can advise other entrepreneurs, maybe in a similar industry about because you gave a lot of good keys, right? Let's recap real quick. You talked about listening to the market, right? Because that's how you got into the men's side, listening to the market, but from an inventory standpoint, what are some of the suggestions that you can give them that you learned? Like, do you stock up on certain particular things more than others? Do you do it based on events, time of season? What are some of those things that you look at when you're doing your inventory?
To be honest, okay, the logical sense and the paper value is you should definitely have a lot of different apps on your computer like Microsoft Excel to keep inventory and document and your spendage. Now,
Okay.
typically, okay, now I'm being serious now. I'm talking business now.
Yeah.
No kiki and all of that. Technically, when you buying something wholesale,
Mhm.
the market says you're supposed to upsell at least 3 times the market value because you want to buy the item back again, make profit, and then you have your self keeping, right? I
Mhm.
have never done that. In 13 years, I have never done that at all. So you have people that do that and then they want to add in their shipping and stuff. But me
Uh-huh.
personally, I'm only giving my aspects when it comes to jewelry. There are a
Okay.
lot of competitors out there who sell the same thing I sell,
Mhm.
but it's almost double the price that I charge. Now,
Mhm.
some people can't do what I do because I take a loss on the profit side. Because my mindset is I walk by faith, not by sight. I'm going to make my money at the end of the day. So
Yeah.
I'm going to get repeated customers and that extra money is going to come regardless. I ain't even got to worry about it. That extra money goes to building my inventory. Because my stuff is online and I don't have a storefront, I don't have to worry about overhead. So
Yeah.
I can literally do sales. I do giveaways for items that's not selling that I made a bad choice on
Yeah.
the product. Those are given away for like $10. All you got to do is pay shipping. Like it ain't no loss to me because it's a waste to sit on a
Yeah.
shelf when I could give it away and then you feel good because you're a returning customer all the time. And you're like, yo, I got this for so and so from Brooklyn Jewels. Because we all want something. Like literally.
Yeah.
We all want something. I've been a customer a lot of times and I'll be feeling happy when they send me O's. My wholesaler be sending me special gifts. I got some Chanel
Mhm.
earrings. I'll be like, I'm ordering from you again. and it probably cost them about $2. You know what I'm saying? But it's the thought that, yo, you know, I spent a lot of money with you, and you sent me a gift. So when you're making your purchases and you're doing jewelry, don't always think about, you know, sometimes if you can, because some people can't, but if you can, try not to overcharge for certain items so you can have repeated customers, so then you can purchase more inventory that a customer don't have to wait for. Now, some people can't do that because of whatever their financial statement is. That's why I said, you know, this is what I do. But as long as you're keeping track on Microsoft Excel of the products that you're getting, you should never be at a loss. Like, you shouldn't take a hit because you're clocking everything. You're clocking what you get in, what you sell for, and the Excel is going to give you what your margin is. And like, that's bang. The only bad part about that gets me every time is at the end of the year for tax time, the products that you have on hand is counted against you. That's the only thing it's counted against you when you do your taxes. So
well, those are wise words. So, you know, I appreciate you sharing your experience and what works for you, and hopefully people can grab certain gems and apply it to themselves. You know what I mean? Yeah. So now you've also shifted in some different lanes with self-care as well. Talk about some of the things that you're venturing out into, that you can share with us. You know, the process.
Oh, you remember how I said that I give my customers things when they make purchases? And usually that's my long-time customers that constantly buy from me. I got customers that buy seem like every month. And I ain't complaining. I love you guys that y'all watch. But now what I do is, I'm going to show you what I do now. And this is for all my customers that make a purchase.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I should have had all this. I'm sorry. That's telling me my battery going low. That's telling me my battery going low. So if you make a purchase for jewelry, or my what I'm doing is whipped shea butter, natural shea butter. You get like 5 different oils, and I make the natural soap. And I'm talking fast because my iPhone battery is on the red. So I do the soaps, and what it is that I've read like 6 different books. I've been watching the YouTube videos on steps how to do it ever since March. So ever since the pandemic started, I've been doing the research and studying the books and doing that, you know, self-taught. And I'm more of the on-hands person. So I'm testing stuff and messing up stuff and spending money and losing money. But I finally came up with my actual ingredients that makes good whipped shea butter, melting soap, and cold press soap. So if you buy jewelry from me, you get all of this in one package. So for my jewelry, I've created my own cleaning cloth for my jewelry. So you get this free, which I never did before, right? So you're going to get this for your jewelry when you buy jewelry. You also going to get a sample of some of the smells that come in shea butter, whipped soap, sugar scrub, cold soap, and melting pour soap. It's just a soap bar that guys use in the shower. You get a sample of the smell of the item. You get a sample of the soap and the name. And you also get a different sample of the shea butter you can use on your beard, your face. So you get all the items that I have went into that lane free. You get all of that free when you buy one item. Now, everything that I buy and send costs me money.
Yeah.
Some customers, oh, that stuff smells good. Where can I order it? And a lot of customers is like, they haven't contacted and bought. But again, you remember I told y'all I walk by faith, not by sight.
Yeah.
So Black Friday, I am coming up with a banging combination set. And that's where my big hitter is gonna take off. So I prepared myself for the 3 months as far as inventory goes, so I can be ready to go. But they're going to be freshly made, and I mostly went into that, and that world is another world. People that make that fancy. So I ain't getting into all of that because, again, my market value is men. And men just want some stuff to smell good. And here's the name of it. It's called Panty Dropper.
Ooh.
And in quotations, it says results may vary because, you know, I don't know what's going to happen when you put it on. I ain't making no promises, but it smells that good. You be dropping the draws. Yes, it can go both ways because I have unisex scents. So he may wear, she drop. She may wear it and she might take her own drawers off. You know, so, you know, it kind of works in two different ways. But my key point, my key element is to have a scent that lasts. That's my key element. A lot of people, I bought their products, their shea butter, their soaps. It smells good in the shower. 2 hours later, I don't smell. Like, I literally still smell my soap that I wash my hands with. And that was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Like, it lasts that long. Oh, you smell it! You smell it! My drawers ain't coming off, though. Sorry, player, my drawers ain't coming off. I told you results may vary.
You know what? I love your energy. Let people know where we can get in contact with you.
Okay, so I'm on Facebook. That's called now my product page, because you gotta have a business page and a personal page. So my business page for my jewelry and shea butter panty dropper. That's the plug. It's called Brooklyn J. Brooklyn J. Brooklyn Jewels is my personal page because I do be wilding out, and some people just love to see me entertain them. So that's that. And then Instagram is Brooklyn_Jewels_LLC. And that's the business page for products. So, Yes.
Super dope. Now, before we go, if you can just give a word of encouragement to people, and then we'll end on your word of encouragement.
Oh, Lord. Well, the word of encouragement that I've been saying through this whole 3-hour conversation. That was a joke. Yeah, I'm just playing with you, Craig. I'm playing with you. Is listening. This is very important. You listening? All jokes aside.
Yeah.
Put God first. Walk by faith and not by sight. Holler, Brooklyn Jewels.
Peace, love. Look, peace, love, and blessings. Because I know the battery is testing us right now.
You think so? It is. Let me see. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, no, but we had a great interview, and I can't wait for people to see it. And
go get some panty dropper, boo boo. You might work on some more kids, play y'all. You know what about? No, I enjoyed myself. I appreciate the conversation. I really dig your platform with all jokes aside. This is very useful in what you're doing, because honestly, you're giving back, like literally, and that's dope. That's dope as hell.
I appreciate that. Well, you enjoy the rest of your night, and peace, love, and blessings.
Holla. Peace out, y'all.